Thanks for checking out another episode of Direct and Current, the channel obsessed with electric motoring. This week, Lotus announced an absurdly powerful, all-electric hypercar called the Evija. We're going to talk about it today. First of all, this thing is absolutely bonkers. This little 3,700-pound beast will put out 1,972 horsepower from 4 electric motors, one dedicated to each wheel. It's boasting to be the lightest production EV hypercar, as well as the most powerful series road car when it's produced next year. By comparison to some of the other staggering figures, the range is perhaps the most modest. Lotus is expecting a 250-mile range from its battery that was built in partnership with Williams Advanced Engineering. Williams is known for its racing experience in Formula 1 and Formula E. This battery will recharge from 0 to 80% state of charge in just 12 minutes. Wait another 6 minutes and you'll be up to 100%. And the Evija looks every bit a modern hypercar that it should, with athletic and breathtaking body lines, enormous air ducts and aero features, a futuristic compact packaging, and exquisite details found at every angle. And no hypercar would be complete without butterfly doors. Lotus plans to produce 130 units of the Evija, and deliveries are to start mid-next year. Just one of these amazing machines will set you back $2 million. Familiar to sports car fans out there, hypercars like the Aston Martin Valkyrie, Bugatti Divo, Ferrari SF90 Stradale, Koenigsegg Jesko, McLaren Speedtail, and Mercedes AMG 1 are all hypercars with gas propulsion, and some of them have electric motor assistance. Where cars like the Pininfarina Battista and the Rimac C2 are 100% electrically powered, just like the Lotus Evija. By their nature, these cars feature 1,000 plus horsepower, a price tag in the multi-millions, and production numbers somewhere in the mid-2 digits to maybe a couple hundred. I'm not going to compare the Lotus Evija with any of those cars though. Instead, let's compare the Lotus Evija to another all-electric sports car coming out next year, the 2020 Tesla Roadster. With Lotus's entrance into the EV game, history has come full circle, because the original Tesla Roadster, built 12 years ago, was actually built on a Lotus Elise frame. Here's what we know so far about both cars. The Evija will have a sub-3 second 0 to 60, and the Roadster base will have a 2.1 second 0 to 60, or with the SpaceX upgrade package, would be at 1.9 second 0 to 60. The SpaceX package, by the way, is a cold gas thruster system that takes up the back seat in the Roadster. The Roadster promises a 0 to 100 mile per hour time of just 4.2 seconds, and though not a direct comparison, Lotus gives us a 0 to 186 mile per hour time of 8.6 seconds. Both cars will have an over 200 mile per hour top speed, but the Roadster promises over 250 miles per hour. The range of the Evija, around 250 miles, pales in comparison to the Roadster's whopping 620-mile range. Now, of course, the seating in the Evija is just for 2, similar to the Roadster if you have the SpaceX package, but if you choose a base model Tesla Roadster, you will have 4 seats. And of course, the price tag. $2 million for an Evija, $250,000 for a Roadster. Regarding production numbers, Lotus will be hand-building 130 bespoke units of the Evija. We don't exactly know Tesla's numbers yet. At least 80 Roadsters will be built and given for free to the winners of the Tesla referral program. With Tesla's focus on manufacturing and seemingly enormous demand for electric sports cars, I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla built and delivered every possible Roadster they could. It seems likely that both cars will be able to charge at 350 kilowatts. But if you do plan to travel in either of these cars, be aware that the Evija doesn't have much for cargo space other than a few cubbies. The Roadster will at least have a rear trunk, the optional second row seats, but it doesn't look good for a front trunk. Just for fun, imagine both vehicles on a road trip from Los Angeles, California to Las Vegas, Nevada. Leaving with a full charge, the Evija would need to charge somewhere in the midst of the road trip, as well as on the way back, plus charging at the destination. Can you imagine pulling over in your $2 million hypercar to charge up, just to make it all the way out to your resort and need to charge up again? Why this Evija owner didn't take their private jet is beyond me. By contrast, the Tesla Roadster's 620-mile range would mean you don't need to charge at all. Leaving with 100% charge, the 550-mile round trip would actually give you a surplus to drive around the strip if you wanted. Not only that, but the Roadster's assumed full self-driving hardware would mean that driving in traffic or any boring roads like the 15 would be a breeze. No specific word yet on autonomy from Lotus, but they are using cameras in lieu of side view mirrors. So we've talked about the practical differences between what appears to be two enormously impractical cars. But I want to know, if you had $2 million burning a hole in your pocket, would you pick the Lotus Evija, or would you pick 8 Tesla Roadsters? Or maybe you're more excited about a hybrid hypercar, like the Ferrari SF90 Stradale or the Aston Martin Valkyrie. Me personally, I'd pick 4 Tesla Roadsters and $1 million in the bank. Thanks for watching this video, it truly means a lot. Don't forget to check out Direct and Current on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. We produce new videos every week, so I'll see you in the next one.